get chilly and there's frost in the forecast, it's time to put your garden to bed for the winter.
That's right. And a little prepping now will make it a lot easier to open your garden in the spring.
Joining us now is professional garden communicator Colleen Plimpton. Welcome back to the show. It's always nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.
I should mention, Teresa, that her book, Mentors in the Garden of Life, is a finalist for the 2011 Book of the Year in the Memoir category by the Connecticut Center for the Book at the Hartford Library. Congrats.
Thank you.
It's quite an honor.
It is. I'm thrilled.
All right, so it's fall and
Yes.
the gardens are kind of coming to an end. What do you do this time of year?
This is take down time in the garden. This is when we want to get out the clippers, get out those electric hedge trimmers, and cut down the perennials in the garden, most of them, and put them in the compost.
Okay, when you say cut them down, how far down?
Way far down.
Way far?
Cut them down to like 6 inches, 4 inches. The roots will continue to grow, but once frost has singed the top, then that's really pretty useless, except in the compost pile. Now, you want to leave up some stuff. You want to leave up some things for the birds, like the tall garden sedum. You want to leave up some pretty things that will catch the snow and look attractive, like your astilbe. But most everything gets cut down. You also want to start planting your bulbs this time of year. Oh, you'll be so happy in the spring when you've planted your daffodils and tulips in the fall.
Okay, some people actually take their bulbs out.
Those would be your tender bulbs. Those would be your cannas, your gladiola. Those would be bulbs that can't survive our Connecticut winters. But hardy bulbs like daffodils and tulips and crocus, those should be planted now. And when you go to plant your bulbs, make sure that you've got a firm bulb. Make sure that you've got a bulb that's healthy and going to give you good color next spring. And dig in some nice organic material into your soil. Cover them up. Give them some water if the heavens don't provide. And then they go to sleep. Next April, May, there they'll be.
You have your flowers.
Yes.
I see that there's still some deer repellent.
Oh,
Do you
yes.
need that this time of year?
Yes, you do. The darn deer, they are establishing their feeding territories as we speak.
Okay.
So you have to deer repel. Even though the garden's getting put to bed, you want to deer repel those shrubs. You want to deer repel those roses, those bushes that the deer might think they can dine on this winter. You want to dissuade them.
You also have this contraption here.
Oh, my wonderful cobra head.
You can really kill a plant with that.
This is a great tool. This is one of the best tools for digging and weeding. It's called a cobra head for obvious reasons. It has a really pointed, like a cobra, head on it, and it's strong and versatile. It can be a weeder. You pull it against the soil. You can also dig it into the soil and plant small bulbs, the minor bulbs, and it just has a lot of uses in the garden, as do many tools. Many tools are quite versatile.
All right, and tell us about the compost pile you have here.
Oh, my compost. This is just the best part of gardening, I think, because compost makes your soil so rich, so organic. It'll hold water. It will help your garden to be healthy and fruitful. But composting really goes on all year long. This is a great time of the year to start a compost pile, though, because Mother Nature has given us all those fallen leaves. So you gather up those leaves and you start layering them into a pile, sort of adjacent to your garden, and then you put in all those other good things like the pine cones and your kitchen scraps. And by spring, you've got a head start on beautiful, rich compost.
That's it?
And that's going to help the plants?
Oh, yeah. This has got such good stuff in it, microorganisms and material that will help your soil hold moisture and give richness to the soil that is going to grow your flowers and your vegetables.
What's that book over there on the side? What is that going to be used for?
This is Garden Diary, and this, Jocelyn, is where you write down your hopes and dreams for your garden. This is where you write your list. I promise next year I will do thus and such in my garden. I really am going to move that hydrangea. I really am going to trim back that rose. I really am going to buy that beautiful coral bells. You write it all down.
You better start yours. I know. You better get yours and start writing it down.
I told Teresa earlier, I think I'm going to wish for somebody to come in and do all that for me.
We all wish that.
So, Kelly, what type of flowers or plants should we be looking at this time of year?
There's a lot of things that are still in color. The hydrangeas are still colorful. Roses are still colorful. There are Montauk daisies and, of course, mums, which we treat really as annuals. But there's a lot of different things.
Let's take a look at this photo that you have of your garden. And this was just a few weeks back.
Yes,
so we were amazed. Teresa and I said, no,
this was
it
like
can't look like
July.
that.
No, it's very recent, just a couple of weeks ago. I really believe in trying to have a garden that's colorful all season long, and that extends into now.
And so tell us a little bit about what we see.
Oh, we've got some roses. We've got a beautiful, in the center of the picture, there's a beautiful golden Japanese forest grass called all gold. And up against that is some really pretty pink sedum. In the background, there's a little bit of hydrangea. So, and then there's a little splotch of roses. There's all kinds of different things in flower now, and it's easy to do. All you have to do is whenever you go to the nursery, get one plant that's in bloom now, but get another one that's going to bloom later in the season. And pretty soon, your garden will be colorful all season long.
And you have a lovely bouquet, and what's great is I know you've had this a while.
I have. This bouquet is actually a couple of years old.
Can you believe that? Oh, it looks perfect for fall.
I haul it around to my garden lectures. But what I like to do is show people these are just some of the things that you can pick from your garden and dry and have as a dried arrangement. I call it the last bouquet of autumn.
Well, you can still plant.
Oh, yes, you can still plant.
Let's take a look at the pictures you brought along with you.
You can still plant. Now, that's a beautiful sedum, a trailing sedum, which kind of is low to the ground. But, oh, the pinky purple color is so pretty. And there are many other things that you can plant. It's best at this point. Oh, and there's a daisy. That's Montauk daisy. And there's a little bee on it. Very important to plant things that are attractive to the bees and the butterflies, because at the end of the season, they're really hungry. They're getting ready to go into the winter, and we need to plant things that have nectar for them. So they like some of the winter and fall plants also, and we need to be sure that we've got them, not just for us, but for them too.
All right, and very good. And you also have some book signings coming up.
I do. I have a number of book signings and garden lectures. I will be at various places around the state. They're all on my website, www.colleenplimpton.com. I'm very busy this time of year, and I think it's because people are so interested in gardening, and they don't want the season to end. Neither do I. However, I look forward to my 3 months off when the ground is frozen.
All right, we'll see you in the spring.
Absolutely. All right,
All right.
Colleen, thank you so much for being here.